Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Halil. If you are new in this channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications. One. When you find yourself sleeping in a new environment for the first time, the brain processes danger and remains half awake in order to be more aware. 2. According to researchers at UCLA, humans have been observed to have their first bout with anxiety or depression right after stomach illnesses. Utilizing brain scans, they found that patients who ate probiotics had their brains directly affected by the bacteria. All of their research suggests that stomach microbial health has a much greater effect on your brain than once thought. So, we can say your bowel is your second brain. 3. A man in the UK had chronic hiccups for 2.5 years of his life and was told that it was likely caused by heartburn. After a Japanese TV show picked up the strange phenomena and paid for medical testing, a brain tumor was discovered. Once the man had the tumor removed, his chronic hiccups went away for good. 4. Blacking out from drinking is actually caused by the effect of alcohol on the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory. You're not physically forgetting anything, rather your brain becomes incapable of storing and recording new memories. 5. We cry when we are very happy because our hypothalamus in our brain can distinguish the difference between strong happiness and strong sadness. 6. We get chills when we listen to music as a result of our brain releasing dopamine. When a song moves you, the anticipation from a peak moment in the song triggers this release. 7. Solitary confinement can actually cause extreme neurological damage to human brains. So much so that it can be seen on EEG scans, and the brains of solitary prisoners have the same indicators as people who have had traumatic injuries. 8. While we sleep, our spinal fluid flows through the brain on the outside of the brain's blood vessels. This removes brain cell waste, specific buildups of amyloid beta protein. This only occurs during sleep, and a buildup of proteins that get clean has been linked to greater risk of Alzheimer's. 9. A scientist by the name of Theodore Erisman created goggles that completely flip his vision. At first, he struggled with the flip perception, but within just 5 days, his brain adapted to the change and he saw everything as normal. This type of adaptation is also well demonstrated by YouTuber Smarter Everyday, who forgot how to ride a bike and relearned flipped his bike steering around, causing him to forget how to ride a bike and relearn in a reverse manner. 10. Alzheimer's disease is caused by a resistance to insulin in the brain, causing many to refer to it as type 3 diabetes. 11. The world's fastest supercomputer requires 24 million watts of power to operate. But our brains only require 20 watts and operate about 100,000 times faster. 12. Exercise slows our brain's cognitive decline, and increased physical activity over the norm can slow our brain's aging by 10 years. 13. Human brains receive 20% of total oxygen from our bodies, even though they only represent 2% of our body's weight. 14. Certain languages do not have terms for left, right, front, back, and rather use the terms north, south, east, west. People raised in this language have been found to always know what direction they are oriented, resulting in a type of compass brain. 15. 73% of your brain is just water, which means that if you get dehydrated by more than 2%, you can suffer from a loss in attention, cognitive skills, and memory. 16. Babies' brains grow rapidly. A 2-year-old baby will have an 8% fully grown brain. This rapid development is why paying close attention to your child's development in the early years is so impactful to their ability as an adult. 17. Information transfer in our brain occurs at a rate equivalent to 260 miles per hour. 18. Yawning is actually a reaction that sends more oxygen to your brain. Reptiles, birds, and mammals all yawn, and is controlled by neurotransmitters in the brain. 19. The cerebellum is a part of the brain responsible for posture, walking, and movement coordination. It's located in the back of the brain and weighs 150 grams. 20. The human brain is split into 2 sides, with each interaction with the opposite side of the body. While this interaction is known, the reason for it is still not understood. 21. Within your brain, there are 150,000 miles of blood vessels that carry blood and oxygen to various parts of the organ. 22. You can actually improve your memory if you choose to eat seafood regularly. The fatty acids in this food improve the memory storing parts of your brain. 23. The human brain continues to develop until your late 40s. It's the only organ in the body that develops for this long of a time, and it sees more change than any other organ as well. 24. Every second, there are 100,000 chemical reactions happening in the human brain. 25. Babies lose about half of their neurons before they are born, referred to as pruning. This eliminates any brain neurons that don't receive sufficient input from other areas of the brain. 26. Studies have found that when mothers speak to their babies, the children learn, on average, 300 more words by the age of 2. 27. EEGs, or electroencephalograms, is non-invasive imaging technique that is used to record small changes of electrical activity in the brain. Utilizing surface electrodes on the scalp, scientists can study many aspects of the brain utilizing this technique. Tiny fluctuations in the EEG signals indicate whether a person is asleep, aroused, or somewhere in between. 28. Researchers from Baylor University have discovered that children who are deprived of touch, play, and interaction with others have between 20 and 30% smaller brains than what's normal for their age. Child abuse can thus inhibit brain development in a child and negatively affect their lifetime brain development. 29. The brain cannot experience pain. This allows neurosurgeons to probe areas within the brain while patients are awake. They can get real-time feedback from each patient, allowing them to pinpoint particular regions like for speech or movement. 30. The reaction of our pupils constricting when they are exposed to bright light is called the papillary light reflex. This reflex is used by doctors to determine whether the reflex pathway to the brain has been disrupted. If one or both of your eyes fail to produce this reflex, then doctors can work to pinpoint the exact location of the disconnect. 31. 5% of the population of the world has epilepsy. However, it's estimated that 1 in 10 people will have a seizure within their lifetime. 32. Scratching an itch is actually a strange biological response from a medical perspective. It seems to hinder the healing process rather than help it. Researchers believe that we itch because it stimulates the release of endorphins and natural opiates that blocks pain. Because stretching does damage to skin, it causes a fresh rush of endorphins to help the pain. 33. Every time that you remember something, you, in return, strengthen that memory in your brain. Whenever the neural pathways of a memory are exercised, your brain makes new connections. The older and more times a memory has been remembered, the stronger that memory is. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new in this channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications and hit the like button. Have a great day.